What do you do when you're in a situation where somebody's deliberately trying to interrupt you because they think that either what you have to say is irrelevant, you're invisible to them, they're trying to talk over you, they're trying to make you feel invisible, or they're bulldozing over you? How do you stop that?
What do I say?
DanTheGunnerTraining.com.
Today you're going to learn the 3-step anti-interrupter. This is one of my personal favorites. And if you're new to this channel, I'm communication skills expert Dan O'Connor, and I specialize in tactical communication. And I'm going to be putting these out at least once a week, along with new Ask Dan topics and new live sessions. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Make sure to subscribe for notifications on those. Okay? Now, first of all, let's start out with not to do. I hope that you have your danger phrase list handy because throughout this whole course, I'm going to always be giving you danger phrases and power phrases. Today, the danger phrase I'd like to give you is the most common thing that people say when other people try to interrupt them. Okay, so imagine if you're watching people communicate. You're watching two people give a presentation and they're competitors, let's say. And while one of them is giving the information, the other competitor starts to jump in and say,
yeah, well, that may be, but...
What does the average person say to counter that? What do they say? Yeah, they'll say things like,
Excuse me, pardon me, I haven't finished.
Don't say that. Remember, the last thing you want to do under these circumstances, first of all, is the common thing. I mean, you don't ever want to let somebody know with your words,
I'm a common, predictable communicator, just so you know.
That's generally not going to serve us too well. But in addition to that, you don't want to do something that's passive, and say something like,
Excuse me, or pardon me.
When somebody's interrupting you,
Don't do that.
that sends a really strong message on a subconscious level that's going to let that person know you're going to be a piece of cake to walk right over. You'll be able to be interrupted, and there's nothing you can do about it if you start out like that. So do not let those words fly out of your mouth, okay? Number 1, remember that when somebody interrupts you, many times we will look away from them. If they were a competitor sitting next to us at a table, for example, many times we would just look away from them and be like,
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I haven't fit. Hello?
Don't do that. Instead, look them straight in the eye. Bing! You want to look them right in the eye. You want to lean your head a little bit forward so that your forehead is going to be the thing closest to them. Not your chin, not your nose, your forehead. Just like a bull is about to charge, before they charge, they do that. Make eye contact, not too wide, but you do want to open up your eyes and make sure that if you're naturally kind of, droopy-eyed, if you're, a little, more relaxed than others, make sure to show your entire iris. Not all of the white around your iris, and we'll talk about that in different lessons, but at least let them know, I'm paying attention to you, okay? As you nod your head forward. Number 2, use a universal stop gesture. So depending on where you may be in the world, you might have a different way of saying stop. Like here in Mexico, I don't know how it actually evolved, but you see when people say no, they will do this. And when people say yes, they will do that. Maybe it's because their mouths are full a lot. I don't know. Mine is. But the universal stop gesture is that. So you're letting them know, I'm not letting this by. I'm going to be in your face if you're going to interrupt me, which in essence is telling me what you have to say is more important and relevant than what I have to say. If you let that happen once,
You're doomed. Doomed.
Because not only will that person not respect you, the people watching and listening are going to think, okay, what they have to say is more relevant or is important, or they are a more powerful communicator. There's no medals that you will win, or no, awards of compassion or Nobel Prizes that you're going to win, letting somebody take your power and your platform from you. Never. Okay, you're not winning anything for that. There's only a lose there, all right? Having said that, the first 2 steps now, remember, what's step number 1? Lean towards them. Make direct, wide eye contact, and put your forehead first. Number 2, use a universal stop gesture as you do that. And to wrap it up, step number 3 is to use an anti-interrupter statement. Now remember, most people will say things like,
If you could just let me finish.
Excuse me, pardon me, but...
I was speaking,
They can figure all that out with your anti-interrupter statement, which is very simple and very direct and to the point. Number 1 choice is, I'm speaking. Okay? If that's a little bit too much for you, number 2, I'm still speaking. Or maybe you could try number 3, I haven't finished. Because maybe at the beginning of this situation, You might, if you know that they have a tendency to interrupt, you might want to tell them at the beginning, I do want to hear everything that you have to say, and I want you to get everything out onto the table, but not until I'm finished saying what I have to say, all right? So I do want to hear what you have to say, but not if you're going to interrupt me. Then I don't want to hear it. If you need to say something like that, say that at the beginning. And then as you're speaking, if somebody interrupts you, I haven't finished. And then you can keep on speaking. But remember that you want to be able to say things like, I'm still speaking. Or, as you're talking, if somebody tries to interrupt you, I'm speaking. And then you keep speaking without stopping. It might seem simple to say, I'm speaking, and then keep speaking without stopping. Or to say, I'm still speaking, and then to keep speaking without stopping. Or, I have not finished, and then to keep speaking. It might seem easy. It is not. Because most of us in our entire life have never said to somebody, I'm speaking, and then kept speaking without missing a beat, or I'm still speaking and then kept speaking. Most of us have never done that. So if you think it's going to be easy, especially when emotions are running high, you are wrong. That is why you want to say that out loud with me right now. Say it out loud. I'm speaking. Say that. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Say that again. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Now say, I have not finished. I have not finished. Say that again. I have not finished. Say it again. I have not finished. Remember that when you are using new verbal patterns, new language patterns, just like any other new language, it's going to sound awkward when it first comes out of your mouth. Just like if you've ever learned a second language or a third language or fourth, when you first start learning any language, most of us sound very awkward as we speak it because our mouth is not used to making those sounds. It's not used to speaking those verbal patterns. This is no different. When you start saying things that you have not said before, it feels uncomfortable, it sounds uncomfortable, and it sounds like you don't normally say this. And so people will latch onto that because remember that our subconscious mind is much stronger than our conscious mind. And so people who are bullies, who are interrupters by nature, will just kind of be able to, they'll sniff it out. You're faking it. You can't anti-interrupt me. Now, having said that, you can interrupt just about anybody if you really know how. So if you have somebody who is a steamroller, and we'll cover all the names of the different difficult people in other lessons, but if you're dealing with a steamroller, people who just won't stop talking and you're trying to interrupt them, but they just keep going and going because they think that they have a message that you need to hear and now's the time you need to hear it. So they're just going to keep going and keep going. Remember that to interrupt somebody, use their name over and over again. Generally 3 times is the charm. Generally if you say to somebody, Mary, 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 people will be like, what? But if you keep repeating somebody's name, just like our children do, you know what I mean? When you are doing something and you've already told your kids, hey, I'm going to be busy for the next 10, 15 minutes, so, am scray, you know what they'll do when they really want you to answer them. They'll just say it. Mom, 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 mom. You'll be thinking to yourself, I'm not going to let them interrupt me. I'm not going to respond because if I keep responding, I know they're going to keep doing it because Dan O'Connor says what gets rewarded gets repeated, and he's right, and I've seen that I've done that, so I'm not going to do it again. Oh my God, I'm going to change my name. Is there any way that I can change my legal name? Is there any way that I can change it from mom so that I can, what? Right? And then you'll eventually say what, and they'll be like, works every time. What gets rewarded gets repeated. So remember that if you want to interrupt somebody, that's how to do it. If when you say, I'm speaking, hey, I'm still speaking, hey, I haven't finished yet, and they haven't stopped, that's going to be very rare. Because most people, when you say to them, I'm still speaking, I have not finished, when you do that, most people will be like, oh, geez, okay, whatever, okay, I don't know where you grew those, but all right. But if in rare circumstances they keep talking, just use their name over and over again. And when they finally say what, say, I have not finished. And then don't say things such as, now as I was saying, don't say that. Say it. You know what I mean? As you were saying, say it. Keep going. Don't let somebody steal your thunder, your platform, your words, your moment. Don't let that happen. Just remember, you want to practice many times, as many times as you can, saying things even that may seem simple, such as, I'm speaking, and then you keep speaking without missing a beat, so that when it comes time for you to say, I'm still speaking, and then keep speaking, you'll be able to do it. It'll come out naturally. It'll sound like you do it like this is not your first rodeo, and people will be impressed. People who watching it will be like, oh, did you see that? And you will leap up the scale of respect, leaps and bounds, when you let them and everyone else know, don't interrupt me when I tell you not to. And under normal circumstances, they'll be like, and look at that, I was just talking to him the other day and I think I interrupted him. He didn't say a thing. Oh my gosh, I must be special. That's right. That was a different situation. And so, of course, we want to be reasonable people about it, because if we go around telling everybody, I'm still speaking. I'm speaking. No one will want to speak to us anymore because most of us interrupt other people as we converse with them. So we want to, use that one sparingly, but now you know what to do when it comes time to do it. Do that. But remember to practice it in advance. And as I told you, included in my new flagship instant communication program, they all come with audio, visual, kinesthetic tools. All of these lessons, including this one, I'm going to give you the link to it. You need to use those tools. If this is something that you want to implement in your life, remember, don't just hear something or read something. You want to hear it, speak it, read it, write it. Hear it, speak it, read it, write it. When you hear it, speak it, read it, write it, like that, you can make things your own. Otherwise, you're going to think you made it your own. Then it'll come time to do it, and you'll be like, hey, excuse me, I'm talking, rat. And
You're doomed.
So remember to download the materials that come with this. And if you have not done so yet, go to my website and sign up for the free communication starter kit. That'll get you started with things like this. And if you are a VIP member, soon this will be in our store. And this, of course, like everything else, will be included in your VIP membership. So all of these lessons that are coming out of my new instant communication program for the VIP members, you get them all for free. And remember that this tactic, just like all the other tactics that I teach, are not just powerful and tactical, they are mindful. Because in this course and in every course that I have, you'll note if you know me, the overriding theme in no matter what it is that I'm teaching or what it is that I'm learning, if it's going to be something that sticks with me and that's going to be part of my communication verbal repertoire or something that I teach, it's going to be something that comes from a compassionate or loving place. And showing other people that what you have to say matters and that you value it, that is a loving thing to do. To train other people how to treat us, how to communicate with us, and to show them that we ourselves value what we have to say. Therefore, we're going to have to insist that when I tell you to let me finish, you'll let me finish. That is a compassionate thing to do because not only are you liberating yourself, and giving yourself permission to do that, people who are watching and learning from you, because we teach people by demonstration, people who are watching and look to you, even if they don't know it, but they look to you to see how am I supposed to communicate, you're teaching them as well. And that is a wonderful, compassionate thing to do. So remember that no matter what you're doing, especially these days, because I don't know where you are, but wherever you are, chances are it's a little bit different today from the world you lived in 6 months ago. So I hope that wherever you find yourself or, whoever you may be stuck with in quarantine, I hope that you have managed to surround yourself with people that you love and who love you right back because you deserve that. And they deserve the most loving part of you. So no matter what you have to say when you're speaking to those people that you love, no matter what you have to say it in a loving way. You can do that. I can help you if you need any help. I'm here. So remember, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, subscribe so that you can get more videos like this. And make sure to stop by my website. I'm putting links to that, the materials, and the next video. You're going to love it. So make sure to either click on it or subscribe here and come back for another one. This is Dan O'Connor for everybody here at Dan O'Connor Training, signing off.